Show me something.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Show Me Something podcast. I'm Jacob.
I'm Will.
And I'm Trevor.
And today I showed the boys John Carpenter's Halloween from 1978.
First try, never messed it up.
Definitely didn't say John
said it-
Carpenter's and made us delete the track.
I had to say it real slowly because I fucked it up on the first try. I'm no longer one take Jake.
Just
I
leave
know
it
that's what
in.
everybody's been calling me.
Just leave it in.
But yeah, I wanted to show the boys one of my favorite horror movies of all time. I hadn't watched it in a really long time, but I'm really looking forward to it because I just loved it so much when I originally watched it. It's the classic. Everybody pretty much knows the bad guy of Mike Myers, the white mask, pretty standard that I think most people have seen, even if they haven't seen the movie. But before we start to really dig into it, what did you guys think?
Yeah. So, devoted listeners of the podcast will know I'm not a horror boy. I have a very few horror movies under my belt in my 29 years. I think I've probably mentioned this on the podcast before, but I saw the M. Night Shyamalan movie Signs in theaters when I was probably 13. At the time, I was staying at a summer house in upstate New York with my family, and I slept in my parents' room that night because we lived across the street from a cornfield. And Signs was too scary for me. So
It was pretty spooky, dude. The water on the aliens.
I mean,
it stings.
Yeah. So that's a good indication
Spoiler,
of where I'm at. Not my thing. Don't like roller coasters. I don't really understand people who enjoy like being scared or thrilled as that's like a thing that they enjoy. Respect to
Love
you
coasters.
if that's the case, but it's not for me. I'm a very cautious boy. I take shit nice and steady, and I don't think being scared is like a fun thing. Like if I want to like relax and watch a movie, it's not going to be something that causes me fright. That's like not enjoyable
Right
to me
on,
at all.
dude.
So that being said, I didn't enjoy this movie really at all. I don't really know whether it's because it was a horror movie or because it's old or what. I don't think it's the latter, realistically. I love a lot of old movies. It just like didn't really interest me at any point. I think the premise is whatever. I think the most compelling aspects of the film are the cinematography and the music. None of the performances are very good. The story is almost non-existent. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty underwhelming to me, especially because I've heard it spoken about as like this all-timer classic of the genre. So I think it just reinforces the fact that either I don't have enough experience with horror as a genre or that I just don't like horror. Your mileage may vary with that, but yeah, it was whatever. Like 5 out of 10.
Damn.
All right, Trev.
So like Will, I also do not like horror films. I do not like scary stuff. It's just not my cup of tea. Roller coasters I could take or leave, I guess, if we're bringing that up. Like I've ridden some like in high school and stuff when I went with friends to Universal, and they were all right, you know? It was fine. I had to get convinced by the girl I had a crush on to actually get on the first one. But once I did, I was like, yeah,
Nice.
let's keep going. Let's keep doing this. And I was actually
And then
fine.
she kissed the dude next to me, and it wasn't worth it.
I mean, that didn't happen, but it might as well have, I guess, because nothing happened. But overall, though, I didn't mind this. It was not scary, like, at all. I was never scared even once during this whole movie. I don't know if it was because of the environment I was watching in or just because I knew so much about this stuff, I guess, like over the years, you just like take in information, especially about a classic like this and like what Mike Myers is all about and like all that kind of stuff. And I don't know, just nothing about this really scared me or even got me that tense. Like, there was definitely a couple of times maybe where I was like, okay, the killer's going to come out, and then he didn't. And I was like, okay. That's probably the stuff that surprised me the most, is whenever Mike Myers wasn't in a scene. I was like, oh, I would have expected him to have been there. But otherwise, it was all right. Young Jamie Lee Curtis, I thought, was pretty good. Other than that, yeah, the story's kind of there-ish.
Is it?
Like, it's there enough to where it's not just mindless slasher horror, but it's close. It's real close. There's a little bit of something there.
There's story for sure.
Yeah. Like, and I'm sure they expand on it, and, like, I've always heard the theories of, like, is Mike Myers supernatural somehow?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's stuff that comes up in some of the later ones that I haven't seen, but I know certain things about it. There's like, I don't even remember which one it is. It might be an H2O, whichever fucking Halloween one that is, where like he was apparently at birth, like some sort of demonic curse was placed on him or some shit like that.
I guess.
Something like that. I've only seen up to 3, so.
It's kind of implied in this one too, with like the doctor saying some stuff or whatever. But overall, I'll give this movie like 6.5 out of 10. It was okay. I appreciate what it did for the genre as a whole. Like, I'm not a fan of this genre, but I know that this is a pivotal film in the horror, like especially the teen slasher flick horror genre. Yeah.
I think it's
kinda
also
where I'm
right
at.
on.
It's worth mentioning. Sorry, Jacob, before you jump in, I wasn't scared at any point during this film either. That's not why I didn't like it. I don't think I made that clear because I prefaced it so heavily with I'm a scary boy. There were moments where I felt suspense for sure, but there was never a point where I like jumped, and was like freaked out. So I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not where obviously modern horror is, where it's a lot of jump scares and things that are very, like, at least visually realistic to where you will get actually scared.
Yeah.
The movies that I like that are considered horror movies are all of these old movies, which I think I touched on it for Night of the Living Dead. I like scary movies that aren't actually scary. So like I like movies from the 70s and 80s because they're just suspenseful, or because in certain ones they're just straight up funny movies. Like they may be in the horror genre, but like Nightmare on Elm Street is just fucking hilarious, which I haven't shown, but I may show it. I don't think you've seen it, right, Trevor?
Nope.
Okay, well, I definitely will end up showing Nightmare on Elm Street as well. So we'll end up doing basically the whole gauntlet of like the classic like slashers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, I love this movie. I'm a little bit disappointed and sad that you guys didn't get as much out of it as I do, which is a shame. But to each his own.
Hey, I did
the movie.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Trevor.
I did appreciate that the character Linda, it's the same girl from Stripes that gets with Bill Murray.
Right on. I didn't recognize.
Me either.
I did. As soon as I saw her, I was like, yo, that's the MP from Stripes.
I flushed Stripes out of my brain.
Right down
entirely.
the drain, yeah.
But yeah, to give you guys like a little brief synopsis of what the movie is actually about, because I didn't really do that on the top, is basically Michael Myers, not Mike Myers the actor, but Michael Myers the slasher villain. He, in the beginning, there is like a before sequence that takes place during the 60s where it's all POV, and it is him as a child, and he kills his sister. Not spoilers, just right in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
And then basically that is like the preface of like this killer that ends up breaking out of a mental institution and terrorizing the hometown that he grew up in. And that's basically like the premise of the whole movie. Jamie Lee Curtis is the main character that we follow, who's a girl that in this movie we really don't have any connections at all. There is possibly I guess future connections in some of the other movies, but those don't come up until later. So Yeah, so basically, it's just a classic slasher movie where like they're going after him on Halloween night.
Yeah, for sure.
But do you guys want to jump into
Whoa,
the
whoa,
spoilerino zone?
You didn't give a rating.
No, you're not.
First
right?
of all.
Oh, right. And
Yeah.
I've been harassing
You've been harassing
the other
me
boys
nonstop
Amazing.
about
not
this.
doing this.
I should have just let it happen, and then we could have talked mad shit
No,
after the
never.
fact.
I think I would give this
Unprofessional.
probably a 9.5 out of 10. I
Wow.
fucking love this movie.
Really?
Fuck.
Alright.
I think it's pretty much a perfect slasher film. The character is great. I like the story, even though you said there isn't one.
There isn't. We'll go into
I
it
think
once
there
we
is some.
hit the spoiler zone.
There's some.
Okay, we'll get into it.
I do want to mention also that it is one of the highest grossing independent films of all time.
That's
The
dope.
budget was only $300,000. Half of it
Wow.
spent on the cameras to shoot it.
That's amazing.
Donald Pleasance was only paid $20K for 5 days of shooting.
Is that
and,
who is Michael Myers?
No, Donald Pleasance plays the doctor.
Yeah, I
Okay.
recognized him somewhat as like a
Um,
decently famous guy, but I couldn't remember what from.
Yeah, he's been in a bunch of stuff. Originally, John Carpenter wanted Peter Cushing or Christopher Lee to play it.
Wow.
That character of Loomis.
That'd have
but,
been dope.
They didn't want to do it. And Christopher Lee ended up saying it was one of the biggest regrets of his acting career is
Yeah.
not playing Loomis.
He fucked up.
It would have been fucking great. It would have been really cool. Because that character continues throughout, I think, all of the John Carpenter Halloween films.
Have you seen the reboot one?
No, I haven't watched the Rob Zombie ones.
Okay.
No. I think they're grittier. They're like a lot more fucked up because it's Rob Zombie.
That's the stupidest fucking name of all time, by the way.
What, Rob Zombie?
Yeah,
It's
fuck
classic.
that guy. No, it's
I haven't seen any Rob Zombie movies. I just know they're like gritty as fuck.
I also have not seen any Rob Zombies, to be fair. Well, maybe. I don't know.
Also, to keep going on the budgetary stuff, just because I found all this stuff kind of interesting, is that since there wasn't really a wardrobe department, Jamie Lee Curtis bought all her own clothes from JCPenney's.
what?
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And she was only paid $8K to act. Yeah,
It was
and
an
apparently
introducing role.
She's the daughter of the lady from Psycho, which I didn't realize.
News,
I didn't realize,
That's news
yeah.
to me also.
Which
Another
is pretty
scary
cool.
movie that's not scary.
Yeah.
Psycho?
I don't think
Psycho's a great
Psycho's
movie.
a scary movie. It's more of a thriller, isn't it?
It's a thriller.
Is that?
yeah.
That's
I
not
guess.
a horror film.
You could consider it a horror film for sure. It's a slasher.
Yeah. Okay, fair.
It's absolutely a slasher with a very creepy backstory to
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah. I do think it's interesting that this is also an independent film, and I, again, due to my gross lack of knowledge about the horror genre as a whole, it's interesting that so many of these like timeless canonical horror films are all like super low budget.
Yeah.
To have made this
Well, I mean-
for that amount of money is pretty dope. I mean, I thought the camera work was really fantastic. The music is amazing, like I mentioned.
It's just like the classic thing of the horror genre that no one takes it seriously and wants to pick anything up because they're like, it's just going to be trash.
Yeah.
So they're like, why take the risk? You know?
yeah, that's like all of the good ones are nobody's made them on no budget, like Blair Witch,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Like those were.
Yeah. I haven't seen Blair Witch, but I hear it's good.
I've heard great things about it, and it's like that was made by like some teenagers in the woods, or something.
Yeah.
And
Probably
like,
more elaborate than that. But
probably, but like you get what I'm saying. Like it was very guerrilla filmmaking, independent kind of stuff.
yeah, for
So,
sure.
Yeah.
Before,
But Will, yeah, you said you wanted to say stuff?
oh yeah, I mean that was what I was mostly referring to, but also housekeeping. What are we drinking?
Oh. I'm just drinking stuff I usually have on hand, J-Dub's Passion Wheat.
Right now I'm having Deep Eddy's lemon vodka and sweet tea, but I'm probably gonna get. I have a Little Miss Sour, tangerine sour, sitting in the fridge that I might have after I finish this.
What brewery?
I don't remember. I got it at the ABC Liquor in Wesley Chapel. They had like a bunch of really dope sours that I got recently. There was like a smoothie sour that was just amazing.
Yeah.
is like it tasted like a mimosa kinda, but like a little thicker, and it was really awesome.
Interesting. Rally's just got a bunch of crazy sours. I'm on
I might have to stop.
other half, just like I was last week. I managed to snag the last 4-pack of Simcoe Daydream. That's a double dry hopped oat cream India Pale Ale IPA from New York, Brooklyn again. And before that, while we were chatting before we jumped on the record, I had a other half Vapor Rings double IPA, which was also very good. Cool. I just wanted to flex my fucking New York beer. That's mostly the that's the reason I brought it up.
I feel you. I was underprepared. I was like, well, I have pretty much, what I always have.
To be fair, I did start with a Michelob, so
That's a classic, dude. You
Michelob
gotta start with
Cactus
the Michelob
Lime
to ease into it. I do want to say before we wrap up the housekeeping that I just got off work and I'm drinking on an empty stomach. So if this goes off the rails, or if I start yelling at the boys since they disagree with me so much,
Hell
and that
yeah.
really grinds my gears. What can you do?
Like God damn it! I wish that fucking first One Punch Man wasn't lost.
I think the second One Punch Man was awesome.
The second one was
good,
great.
but I still
the second
the
one was
first one
great.
we were yelling at you a lot more.
The energy of the first one was really contentious, and I think that's something that we're lacking. So, it's it's just going to be that's show me something lore. That's the lost app.
Lost episode that
Yeah,
I
the
still
lost
have my
episode.
audio for.
Yeah, maybe we'll release it
Well, I
just
don't.
just me and
Mine's
Trevor.
corrupted.
just
You don't know what I'm saying.
No.
It's just you two yelling at emptiness.
I don't know. Maybe that's a Patreon thing.
Yeah. You guys can find it on our Patreon.
It doesn't exist yet.
youtube.com/r/u/the Harbor Boys at gmail.com. So, but yeah, let's jump into the spoilerino zone.
Yeah. First things first, dude. There's no story. There's no story.
What do you mean?
He murders his sister, and he goes to an insane
By the way,
asylum.
hold on.
There's
I wanna
no-
talk about that a little bit. Hold on.
Wait,
I wanna
can we talk about the
this.
overarching story first, and then get into specifics? Because there is no overarching
Fine.
story, and I'm trying to figure out what Jacob's talking about. He murders his sister. He goes to an insane asylum.
Yeah.
And then he breaks
Yeah.
out of the insane
Yeah.
asylum and comes back to murder
Yeah.
people in his hometown. That's not a story.
Yeah,
That's a story.
that's a story.
You
What
just
do you
told
mean?
a story right now.
That's
Yeah.
dog shit. That's a dog shit story then. If you want to call that a story, that's
There's a
bad.
beginning.
There's no motivation. There's
to
no
Oh,
be
reason for
fair-
why he does what he does.
The devil.
Yeah. Can I explain a little bit? To
Sure.
be fair, a lot of the story parts that you're craving get fleshed out in at the very least the second movie, because the second movie takes place that night. It takes place after all this, after he we're in the spoiler zone, so after he gets shot out of the window at the very end,
And disappears.
it takes place directly after that. Like the second movie, I also think is a fantastic film. It's basically like one big movie, like Kill Bill.
Interesting. Well, that doesn't negate the fact that there is no story in the first movie. Because telling me that the story is fleshed out in the second movie doesn't excuse the fact that there is no actual plot. I understand that
you
there.
did describe a plot.
I know,
You're
okay.
just asking for more lore.
Yeah, fair.
You're asking
So,
for lore.
I'm saying the wrong words.
be
So
honest-
there is a plot, but there's no motivation. There's no reasoning. There's no character development. And
But
again,
the motivation in so many horror movies, though, this is just the way it is. The
Yeah.
motivation in horror movies is that there is a killer.
Yeah.
Like,
And that was
you a lot of the time don't get the facts,
Right.
Especially in first movies.
That's what I was about
and
to
that's
say.
a thing that just happens, and this is one of the one of the first. So like, it's all based on this.
it's just reinforces the fact that it's just so not for me. Like I was like, what the fuck is happening? Why is he doing this? Like that's what I'm interested in. I'm not interested in him like creepily like half standing.
You want it
behind
to
a
be more
hedge.
like a political thriller.
Oh, speaking of, that's what I fucking forgot to mention, bro. This is the blowout intro. It's like almost shot
Yeah.
for shot. This is what blowout was referencing, which we
Yeah.
didn't fucking mention up top, which I'm now mad
We
about.
did. You mean
We didn't mention that it
Blowout,
was-
We did mention that it was based on like B horror slasher films.
Yeah, but I feel like this was the one it was referencing because it's the heavy breathing. It's the first person. It's through the windows of a house.
Yeah.
It's the first
Yeah,
person
I don't know.
with like the first person being pretty much invisible.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, you don't see the actual what the POV is of until after the horrific event is committed.
Yeah, but like also the boyfriend comes down the stairs and looks right at him.
Yeah.
And just doesn't see him.
Well,
Yeah.
he's just a little clown boy.
But also, this is what I was trying to get to earlier.
Yeah.
That POV is way too tall to be that kid. That is way too tall to be that small child.
Yeah.
You think so?
Absolutely. He reaches down into the drawer to get the knife. This kid is like, the top of his head is scraping that drawer at the most.
I don't know. I didn't notice.
That's a small kid.
The first thing, like, because I knew from other stuff that, like, Mike Myers, like, committed his first crime or whatever when he was, like, a little kid.
Yeah.
And so, like, they start with this POV. I'm like, immediately, who is this POV of? Because it's not the kid. It's way too up in the air. This is like a tall, grown man walking around. And then he does the murder. And I'm like, I guess it's him. And he walks outside. And I'm like, maybe he was like a teenager or something. Maybe I misheard or misread or whatever. People were wrong. And then they pull the clown mask off of this little ass kid out front of the house. And I'm like, what? What is happening?
Yeah.
Sorry, that's my nitpicky thing. That's my one big nitpick.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm looking at it right now. I pulled it up. No, you're right. It is too tall.
It's way too tall. Like, that was just
but
a
I will
cameraman
say
walking
that,
around.
This POV sequence took them 2 full days to shoot.
That makes sense. I feel like it was pretty.
Yeah.
It was pretty elaborate, and it looked
I mean,
great.
it's
very
a very,
elaborate.
very, very cool sequence. Other than Trevor's nitpick.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the
because
movie,
because he thinks he knows better as a cinematographer than.
woof.
I'm just kidding.
The movie, to me, the movie peaked in the first like 15 minutes. Like I thought that was the most compelling part.
It's a very stylistic scene.
Yeah,
It's very cool.
Yeah, it was dope.
You get also gratuitous nudity in the first bit of the film, so you know you're watching a slasher. You're like, all right, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Some tits in the bedroom.
Yeah,
I'm not
But
going to
then
say no to that,
then it breaks into their present day of Halloween, or it takes Halloween of 1978 because it takes place the same year that it was released, and we're following Jamie Lee Curtis's character, and basically just like her like little day in the life of Jamie Lee Curtis at first.
yeah.
So, by the way, I guess so Jamie Lee Curtis, like at the very beginning, drops off a key for her dad at the Myers house.
I guess he's like a realtor or whatever.
Because he's like, the people are coming to look at the house at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
I guess that's a.m. because I guess,
Yeah.
Okay, I got real confused because I was waiting for something to happen at 10 p.m. And I'm like, hey, who looks at a house at 10 p.m.? But that makes a lot more sense now that
That would be pretty weird.
now that I'm saying it out loud. I'm like, oh, they meant 10 a.m. So that whole nitpick is just gone. All right, never mind. Just solve my own problem.
Right on.
Trevor, are all your notes nitpicks?
No, a lot of them are, why are you being so stupid? Oh, this person's
Yeah.
dead. That person's dead.
Yeah, I think this is also, that raises a good point of like, maybe I've just seen too many things that parody slashers as a genre that this just like doesn't hit for me at all. Like it's so, like,
I know, I can tell.
There's so many points that are so fucking dumb. And I guess that's kind of the point. Like you have dumb characters in a horror movie, but
Yeah.
fuck, man. Like, yeah, I was like
I mean-
pretty bored throughout the entire film, honestly. Which is like, I hate to say that. Like, I was excited to watch it. I've heard such good things, and obviously Jacob loves it. And, you know, for the most part, Jacob and I have pretty similar taste. But, yeah, this clearly is not a section where we Venn diagram with each other. Go ahead, Trevor.
Yeah, I don't know if that's much the case anymore.
No, I was more.
I think
was just
I
fist
think
pumping.
you and Trevor are more aligned nowadays.
You think so? I disagree highly. All of
I
our
did-
music, our music
The
is
music
like right
taste
there.
is very different. But
Yeah, and also, how can you say Trevor and I align when I've shit on everything that he's brought besides Kipo?
Not true.
you didn't shit on
and
One
Dave.
Punch Man.
You
or
love
One Punch Man.
Dave.
All right, so that's 3 out of how many? I hated Gurren Lagann. You loved it.
You guys both liked
hated Black Lagoon.
Operation fucking dumb shit drop.
Don't. How dare you? How dare you?
I
would never
thought it was
spoof
fine.
the name of something you brought. Yeah, and like that's the thing too. Is like obviously I like bad shit also. This isn't the type of bad shit that I enjoy.
This isn't bad. You're crazy.
I think
you guys are fucking crazy.
I don't think
it's good.
It's like one of the most well-respected horror movies of all time, and you're like, it's trash.
Which makes
I
me
didn't
think
say
that all horror is bad.
You're wrong.
This just like it's not a good film to me. Like I was like, this is fucking dumb. I was watching it and I was just like, this is fucking whack. There were no points like I was engaged in the first 15 minutes, and then he just like is broken out, and then is like creepily following Jamie Lee Curtis around for like 30 minutes, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool, and then it just becomes like your typical bullshit, like follow her around and murder everyone. There were parts that I was like, oh, this is kind of sweet, but I really do think that it's because of me. It's not because of the film. Like I think it's just the things that I enjoy don't exist in this film.
I do want to jump off a little bit of what you're saying though about the following it around. There is a lot of really cool like moments to look for.
Yeah.
Of just him everywhere.
Yeah.
He's just everywhere.
Yeah.
Like it's almost in every single scene. Like even if he's just like driving by randomly.
Yeah.
Or just like at the very, very back of the scene. Dude's fucking everywhere.
He was. And that stuff is cool. Like I dug that.
That's great blocking.
I think it's just maybe it's just the second half of the movie doesn't work as much for me, and that's
do you think that it was because it was too fast paced for you of how like the like action being elevated so quickly?
No, I don't think so. I mean, there are movies that
I thought they took too long, honestly, to get to the killing.
Because the actual like murdering spree part in the movie was all filmed in one night because basically of when they were originally writing it. Their thoughts on budget constraints. They were like, we won't be able to do this across multiple nights.
That's
so
insane.
we're gonna do it Halloween night, baby.
That's insane. No, I mean, no, I don't think that is a thing that gives it, is detrimental to it. Like, like the movie The Raid. Like, I love that movie, and that shit
movie.
is fast
Excellent
as
movie.
fuck. It's fast the entire time. So I don't think it's a pacing thing. I just think that between lack of what I consider to be legitimate story development and how goofy it is at times, it's just like, I don't know. And I really do think, I mean, this is kind of like a cop-out and like cheap excuse, but I do think it's because I don't have much context or frame of reference for horror films that like it just seems so fucking stupid to me. Like, and that's not to say that it's not well made or well acted or well shot, because I do believe that it is all of those things. It just isn't like keyed into my sensibilities.
I don't think that you really have to have a frame of reference though. Like I watched these originally with definitely no frame of reference, like just jumping into them in high school, like just watching them just because I had heard they were really good.
Yeah.
I don't think you really need to know that much.
Personal flaw, I guess.
I mean, it's possible. Like, I mean, I did used to watch like review, like YouTube channels and stuff like that. So it's possible.
Yeah.
That frame of reference helps a little bit. But
I mean, I'd be curious to like watch, people like movies with Mikey or like, whatever the YouTube film people are. Break something along those lines, break this film down, and maybe it would give me like a different level of appreciation for it. But I don't want to dominate this entire conversation with me saying how much I didn't like it, which I have been doing so far. So I'll leave
30
it at
minutes of it, actually.
Yeah, I know. I'll leave it at like I've talked too much.
I get it. You don't like it, Will. Goddamn.
I'll start talking. How about
ahead,
Will?
Trent.
I'll start talking about how I didn't like it.
There you go. Pass the baton, baby.
My turn to talk. No, honestly, I thought it was fun. Like, I thought honestly it was a little slow for the first bit. Like we get a kill right at the beginning, and then almost nothing except for an off-screen kill with the I guess tow truck driver or mechanic or whatever.
Yeah, like a mechanic guy that he killed.
A mechanic guy that he killed. Like, and nobody even
a sweet jumpsuit.
Yeah, nobody even finds the body, I guess. Like, he
probably does. I think the insinuation is that the doctor goes to the phone to call 911.
I don't know. I don't think he saw
You
the
don't think
body.
he called the police? He's talking to the police the whole rest of the movie.
He might have mentioned something, but I think he ran off when he realized that he like had changed out of the clothes and stuff and was like still moving forward. I don't think he
like
ever
calls
saw the
them
body.
and he's like, there's an abandoned car. They're like, should we check it out for another person? He's like,
Nah.
fuck it. No, we've got a guy. We've got a guy we need to find.
We gotta find the guy. But like,
Fuck the dead dude in the bush.
I don't think he saw him. Honestly,
No, he doesn't see him. I'm saying that he would still call the police to go investigate the scene.
maybe. I don't know.
Definitely.
That doctor's kind of weird.
That's
Like-
Loomis, brother.
Loomis is kind of a weird dude. Like
Loomis is great. He's like constantly just standing around watching people and just being like, "Oh, what the fuck?"
He's just trying
Oh.
to solve it, dude.
he is
But
trying
it is kind of weird that he's trying to solve it because he's like a little bit of a detective character, and he always, in my mind, I always kind of think he is a detective because he's wearing like a dope like coat and everything.
He's got the trench coat and everything, but he's
yeah,
just
he's got the trench look.
he's a
He's, like,
psychiatric.
grizzled.
He's a psychiatrist.
He's like, I'm a doctor.
I'm a, like
I'm a doctor with a handgun.
it's a-
I'll shoot
bad
anyone I
doctor.
see. I don't give a fuck.
I prescribe lead. Anyway,
And the frickin' cop that he works with, like the one girl's dad, is like constantly scaring him.
oh yeah, oh god, I
That
forgot
shit
that was
so
her
funny to
dad.
me. Just it's her dad.
His
'cause they were
kid's
smoking,
dead.
and then they
His
popped
kid's-
up. Yeah, kid's dead. Unfortunately, kid
Ooh,
dies.
That's unfortunate for him. Yeah. Also, no way that he did not smell the weed. Also, I was surprised
Yeah,
they were
I know.
smoking weed.
I was waiting for him to catch it. I was like, "Come on, dude, reefer madness,
There's
brother."
I
what
was also-
fucking
I was just
cop
surprised.
doesn't know what marijuana smells like? Are we sure it wasn't
Exactly.
cigarettes? Because it never specified.
You think they were like? You think they were like clove cigarettes?
It was absolutely
You
weed.
smoking clove, brother?
It was absolutely supposed to be weed, but obviously that. But like also, I feel like Jamie Lee Curtis's character was too much of like a goody two shoes to participate, even if it was cigarettes.
Dude, everybody's got to take a toke every now and
It's
again.
the 70s,
And that's
bro.
fair.
It's
but
the 70s.
you
dude.
get what I
She
mean.
forgot her chemistry book. Get off her back.
She did forget her chemistry book. That's unfortunate.
Let her get
But
ripped.
the other girl, that scene was also awkward because the other girl,
Which one?
from Stripes, whenever she talked
Sex
about
one?
forgetting the chemistry book, the other girl from Stripes is just ranting and raving for so long about how she never brings her books home, and she just keeps talking about that and talking. She's like, I forget my math book, I forget my chemistry book, I forget my.
She
science
doesn't bring any books home. She doesn't give a fuck.
I know,
And you
but, like,
what?
she
I respect
lists
that. It's
every
high school.
single
You'll
book she
pass
doesn't bring-
regardless.
She lists every book she doesn't bring home, and I'm like, why are you still talking?
Because you got to
Like,
pad
what
the
is
script,
happening?
my boy. There's no plot. You got to pad the script.
It's just background dialogue though, because the scene is then focused on Jamie. Like it's not
I
it's
guess.
not focused on her just listing off books. She's in the background saying it.
I know, but it's still
Because because in real life when you're friends with people just talk, you know. You don't always stop. Like I interrupt you all the time.
you do. You interrupt me way too often, quite honestly.
interrupt you all
But-
the time.
Anyways, I like just
Hey Will, you don't like the movie, right?
fuck you.
Could you speak a little bit more about how you don't think it has a story and about how you don't like horror movies? Because those are two interesting points that you said a lot, and I really like to dig
Could
deeper
you
into
just? Why?
I feel
are you
very personally attacked, and I'm not going to talk for the rest of the podcast.
I feel
Oh,
personally
come
attacked.
on!
I'm the.
Come
He's attacking
on.
me. Are you kidding?
Those are pretty. I
Listen,
think
what
that's
do you
a
guys-
double-edged sword.
What do you guys want me to do?
You're attacking both.
Show
of
us
your
a better
co-hosts at
movie
once now.
Show us a better movie.
Yeah.
Dude,
All you horror buffs come out of the
the
woodwork.
Texas
and
Chainsaw
attack.
Massacre fucks this movie. That
Texas
movie is
Chainsaw
dope.
Massacre is a great movie.
That
That
movie
movie
is
is
dope.
one of the most horrifying movies I've ever
Also,
watched.
never seen that.
That movie
very
I saw
scary.
is
Tucker
so
and Dale
good.
versus Evil.
I'm surprised you like it because it's so scary.
Well, I watched it in film class in college. So, like, I think I was okay because we were watching it, like, in a classroom and, like, talking
Yeah.
about it. Yeah, it's horrifying, but, like,
Because that's like an actual old movie that's like gritty and scary.
yeah, it's disgusting.
It's like too real.
It's disgusting,
too real.
dude. But I feel like that succeeds so much more than this film does. This film is just so goofy. It's so goofy, but like not in a way that made me enjoy it, you know? Like, and I stress that I am disappointed that I didn't enjoy it because I wanted to. and Cobb's making a fucking face at me right now. But like, I was looking forward to this movie, and it definitely let me down. Like, it's just so standard. And again, it's the first.
I get it.
It's
That's
the
like
first
the fourth time you
and
said
all
that,
that
so.
shit. But
I get it. You wanted to like it.
I'm
You didn't
gonna-
like
I'm
it.
gonna
Trevor,
stop
what do you got?
talking.
What do you got to say?
send it back to Trev.
It's all good. No, I'm just chilling. Just chilling over here, listening to y'all.
Cobb, what's your favorite kill?
My favorite kill,
Okay.
Sorry,
I
Trev.
think, is
It's all right.
well the one that is the craziest. I think with the actual setup of it is when he kills I think the last girl that he kills in bed, and then puts the tombstone of his sister above her,
So-
and like puts her
Yeah.
in like a crucifix stance.
That was the
That
first
shit's crazy.
That was the first girl he killed.
Dude, the superhuman fucking strength to like lift it up. No, the first. Oh, did he bring the first girl in?
Yeah, remember because the little
Well, I know he
kid.
killed the first
She
girl.
falls
in
out of the
fucking-
closet or some
He
shit
did.
like that.
No, yeah, the first girl he kills, which is the friend that was
in
gonna
the,
go.
in the laundry room
She killed her
or in the car. I mean,
the car, but then remember
Yeah.
the
She's
young
the laundry
kid
girl.
watches him carry her in the front door
Yeah.
yeah.
and tells her, "Look, it's the boogeyman," and she's like, "There's no boogeyman." Which you saw the boogeyman earlier in the day. Why are you not believing this kid?
Because
Like,
it's a
you
You
child.
gotta
literally-
be doubtful. It's a kid. You can't spook the kid.
Yeah, can't spook the kid. Rule number
Whatever,
one
but like
of horror films.
no, that was the first girl he killed.
Rule number one of
was-
babysitting: don't spook the kid because you got to put him to bed.
Again, just come on.
What's up, Trevor?
I'm trying to talk. I'm just trying to
You got the
talk.
floor. You got the floor. You have the.
Anyways, that is something I did
Hey,
wanna-
Will. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, Trevor.
Anyways, I did want to talk about the tombstone scene a little. Can I?
Yeah.
May I?
Yeah.
May
go
I
for it,
speak?
yeah.
May I speak?
I would love you to, dude.
All right. How did no one see him carry that tombstone from his car into this house?
Great question.
Like, I get it. Like, it's spooky, and that's kind of a cool scene where she walks in and sees the tombstone with the girl, and obviously the obsession with his sister that he
Yeah.
killed in the past, and blah blah blah. But
I think that a lot of the cover that's supposed to be the cover is that it is Halloween. So like everybody's in costume, everybody's has decorations.
you know what? Fair.
So like he's in full costume carrying a tombstone you would clearly think is fake. You wouldn't think a dude's carrying a fucking heavy ass tombstone in his house.
I
You
can't
know
believe
what?
you just
Actually,
fucking bowed that
that's-
easily, Trevor. Get the fuck out
I
of here.
did, because that's perfect.
a dog
I
shit
would-
ass answer. Fuck that.
How is that
That's
dog
a
shit? It's
perfect
fucking
answer.
Halloween,
Dumb
Will.
movie.
I forgot.
Tell me the last time you saw a kid walking around on Halloween with a fucking tombstone in his hands.
You see people decorating
No.
for Halloween
At that
all
point,
month
it would just
long.
be
What
like-
do you mean?
At that point, it would be the dad carrying the tombstone prop in the house for like a party or something.
Yeah.
And it'd be
With
like,
a mask on
Ow.
and a knife in his
Yes,
hands.
people wear costumes on Halloween.
He didn't have the knife in his
Have you never
hands.
heard of Halloween?
I don't
Have you
buy
just
it.
literally never heard of the holiday before?
I don't know what Halloween is.
All he watches is the fucking Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown, and that's it. Then he falls asleep.
That's
You're
at 10
goddamn
o'clock.
right.
Oh my god.
Which is now not on cable anymore. It's
Dude,
only
we
streaming.
tried to find
What?
it
They
last
took it
weekend,
off?
and you literally can't find it unless you get it illegally. It's not there.
Which is crazy.
You can't even
That's
rent
kinda
it or
fucked.
They
buy
took
it
it
on
off of
Prime.
cable?
It's nowhere.
Yeah, they took it off cable.
They're gonna play it on Halloween.
I thought they weren't. I thought it was just going to be on streaming.
It's not anywhere on streaming.
Something bought it though, didn't it? I thought that was like the whole thing. I don't know. I didn't read the article.
We
I read,
looked.
like,
We looked for
Classic
it last week on every
2020,
single. We looked for it on.
Listen, I'm
on
not going to
every
read every
platform.
article.
Listen,
gotta
I don't
read the
read articles
articles.
either. I read the headline and I'm like, that seems interesting, and maybe skim the comments to be like, is this bullshit? And then someone's like, nah, this is real, or nah, this is
And then
bullshit.
someone gives you like they'll give you like a paragraph out of it. And
A
you're
tilde,
like, "Thank you."
yeah.
I appreciate the quote.
Yeah, like a quick little summary. It's like, thanks. Moving on. I can
All right,
answer that
You know,
Jeopardy
you nod to
question
them.
in like 3
you give
months.
them Reddit gold. You say I appreciate it, brother.
I don't have that kind of money. I'm not giving out Reddit gold.
No, I don't either. I've never done that in my life. People do it though.
People
So
absolutely do.
what's
You gotta-
what is everyone's favorite Michael Myers from afar shot?
From afar? Well, I didn't get to give a kill, but
No, we'll do
Oh,
we'll
yeah,
do
go-
kills
go with your-
next.
go
We'll
with your
build up
kill.
to it.
Well, we did
You already
start
started
the kill.
kills.
Oh,
You started the kills
Sorry,
already.
sorry.
Did
I don't
you
remember.
forget?
Yep.
He was zoned out. Let me guess, because he didn't like the movie, but he wanted to like it.
No, Maestro came in and
yes.
started being cute on my leg, so I lost
that's
my
fair.
train of thought. Yeah, favorite
Good old
kills.
Maestro.
Sorry, Trev.
No, it's okay. I thought you just. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
I'm not being passive
favorite
aggressive.
kill-
I genuinely just forgot.
Is because this is my favorite kill because it's also the worst kill. Is the one where he lifts Bob up and like nails him to the cabinet with the knife.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
dope.
that shit is crazy. Knife
That's
would
impossible.
not be long enough.
Impossible.
Yeah,
Knife
that is-
wouldn't be long enough.
Absolutely impossible for that to happen. But that's kind of why it's my favorite because it's the dumbest.
Yeah.
It's like that's
Yeah, I respect
no.
that. I thought about putting that one as my top one too. It would need to be like a samurai sword to be long enough.
Even then, like his upper
Because so
half-
much of it is sticking out.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that knife. That knife is probably poking not even a half inch out of his back, if at all.
Yeah.
Like
Strong knife.
It's
It is
dumb,
strong.
but that's probably why it's my favorite and the most memorable kill of the
Yeah.
whole movie.
I think
Yeah.
I agree.
It was a good one.
Yeah,
Right on.
that's it. All right, we talking far away shots
so now,
or-
yeah, the best far away.
Or Will, did
Mike
you
Myers shot.
did you agree or did you have a separate favorite kill?
No, I agree. I
say?
honestly can't remember any other kills, so I'm gonna go with that one.
I mean, there was the one where I really thought the one where he's strangling the girl with the phone cable.
Yeah.
I really thought that Jamie Lee Curtis's character was gonna think that she was just calling him up while having sex,
Yeah, I think that's what it was supposed to be.
but she didn't play it like
Kinda
that.
is.
Like she
She
played
did.
it like
Which is interesting.
Didn't she?
No, because she's just like, oh, you're just making sounds goofing around. She doesn't
just
think like,
goofing
oh,
with
don't
me.
call me while you're having sex.
yeah.
Well,
like, that would have been my
goofing. She's
first thought. It's
goofing
like,
by
well,
having sex. I thought. I took it as she thought they
Nah,
were fucking.
They were sex sounds. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Will.
They
It was
absolutely
definitely
were.
like, yeah.
Which I feel like is wrong. I feel like you would not be making sex sounds.
Yeah, but every
Wow.
single
Maybe
woman
she
who
had
got
a-
killed made sex sounds the entire film. And like Jamie Lee Curtis, when
Yeah,
she was in the
because-
closet, was making fucking sexy moans. She wasn't like shrieking. She was like, ah. You know what I'm saying?
I guess, yeah.
They were sexy moans.
I mean, we're
The whole
we're
movie
at the
is sexy
blowout
moans.
thing again, where you can't get a good scream out of somebody.
Yeah,
you know?
and that's fair.
Like,
They didn't talk about it though. All right, cool. Favorite long distance shots. It's got to be The Hedge, right? Where else?
The Hedge is classic. There's the long shot when she's in the classroom.
Yeah.
There's the one in the laundry, which is really good too, where he's out by the clotheslines.
I like the laundry
Oh,
one.
That's a good one. Yeah.
That one is fantastic. There's one where he's driving in a car behind Loomis, and you can see him take the left turn.
that one's okay.
There's a bunch of car ones actually, because there's the one where he's in the car and they yell at him and he stops.
Yeah, I like that.
But I think the laundry one is probably the best one. It's either that one or I think the school one for me, because the school one is so creepy because like that one is like someone's gonna see this dude because he's just some fucking weirdo staring at a high school,
Yeah.
In a
Yeah.
mask.
you know,
Yeah.
Just like,
and he's only there for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, she answers her quick question and then he's gone. He's like, oh shit, he's got like an earpiece. He's like, oh, fuck.
I did
think
appreciate-
I think Jamie's got a question in class.
I did appreciate the fact that, like, maybe it's just because I'm used to, like, the anime trope or whatever, but, like, calling on the distracted person in the classroom, they almost...
Yeah, that's
like,
a classic.
Yeah,
I think that's a classic among all.
It's a classic,
movies.
but, like, almost always the thing is that the person doesn't know. They're like, 4. And it's like, what?
yeah, I
it's
mean
like,
that's
this
how it
is
was in
history
Drake and
class.
Josh, remember?
Yeah, exactly. So I kind of appreciated that she knew the answer. That was kind of nice. Like, yeah, it definitely solidified that she's smart. But even for smart characters, I feel like getting caught off guard sometimes you just don't know what was even being talked about.
Yeah, but she brings every single textbook home every day.
So did I when I was in high school.
Nerd.
Well, to be fair, junior year of high school, my locker was my car. So all my books came with me every day. Like,
Right on.
Why didn't you have a locker?
I didn't use it. I just used my car. because I was dual enrolled, so I only had
Yeah.
half of my classes at the high school. The other half were at the community college down the road.
I also did not use my locker senior year because of dual enrollment.
I did not get our locker senior year at all. Like, my mom was like, "You got to have a locker for junior year." I'm like, "I'm not going to need it," and I didn't. I don't even know if I knew the combination for it.
Yeah.
What the fuck is dual
And then-
enrollment?
It's where you go to college for half the day.
Yeah, I went to the
Why?
community college and did college classes because
Then
you get credit.
college credits. So, like, you get college for free.
Yeah, I finished my AA degree one semester out of high school because I did
Yeah.
most of it in high school.
Yeah, it took me a year to do my AA.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Good old SPC, go Titans.
PHSC. I don't know what our
Fuck
mascot
yeah,
was. Did we even have
Dude.
one? I don't even know.
You had to, dude.
You're talking.
Yeah.
You're talking
You're a PH.
Tennessee Titans, right?
No, dude. Just the St. Petersburg College Titans.
Shout out Frank Wycheck, number 89, tight end.
Okay.
What, for the Tennessee Titans?
Yeah.
Shout out Derrick Henry. Dude's an absolute beast.
Shout out
He got
Steve George.
200 plus yards the last game.
Yeah, I don't know any of that.
The-
Frank Wycheck was the
The
GOAT.
Rays won last night.
Madden
That's-
03, Madden 02. Just Hail Mary to Frank Wycheck every play. Steve
Have
McNair.
you guys ever played Madden 2004, I think, with Vic on the cover?
No.
No. I topped
Great
out at
one.
02.
Great one.
I was playing
didn't
02
buy
on
any of the Madden
PC.
games.
Will, was 02 the one with McNair on the cover?
I think so. Because I loved the Titans for some fucking dumbass reason. Kid from New York
Right
loves the
on.
Tennessee Titans.
It had to have been that then.
Yeah. Frank
How do you
Wycheck was
know this?
fucking slapping, bro.
Because, Trevor, you gotta know, dude.
You
gotta
don't.
know.
I don't know.
You gotta know.
I had one sports game, and it was NBA 2K on my PlayStation.
And it was
2.
Wii Sports.
I did have Wii Sports as well, but NBA 2K on my PlayStation 2. That was the only sports game I ever owned, other than Wii Sports, I guess.
No,
You know
and Wii
what,
Sport Resort.
Do you know what sports game is actually fucking great and no one talks about it enough?
What is it?
NFL Street from like 2004.
People
what do
do
you
talk
mean?
about
Dude was
People
an absolute
fuck
banger.
NFL Street.
Who's talking about it?
I talk
I
about
haven't
it.
seen the
I love
articles.
NFL
Okay,
Street.
thank you.
That game fucking slaps.
Offline,
Yeah, we played
Will,
split screen. We played
offline,
split
we're
screen.
gonna need to play like some sort of emulator of it. That's gonna be sick.
I'm very much down with that. Just so everyone knows, Madden 01 was the one that had Eddie George on the cover. I believe that I was playing Madden 02 because it was number 11 on the Vikings. Is that Randall Cunningham? What the fuck's this guy's name?
No idea.
He was the Vikings quarterback in the early 2000s. He was a stud. Anyway, Frank Wycheck, number 89, tight end. I Hail Married to him every single play, and I just slapped in career mode in Madden 02.
That's tight.
Never been a football guy at all, but that was my peak for sure.
Well, you are a football guy, but not American.
Yeah, I'm
football,
a Tottenham Hotspur
Am I right,
guy.
my dude?
Hell yeah, brother.
Shout
out Tottenham Hotspur.
Hotspurs.
Shout out our 3-0
sh-
win today against Lask, the Austrian team.
Oh,
First round of the group stage of the Europa League. Gareth Bale made his re-debut. Huge things. Shout out to anybody at all who knows any of the words I just said who listens to this podcast. You should hit me
I
up.
keep up with the Tottenham Hotspurs through screenshots from Will's Instagram stories. I never click on the post, but I see that there's stuff happening.
Yeah, stuff's definitely happening. We had a really horrendous fucking game on Sunday, winning 3-0 with 8 minutes left, and it ended up 3-3. Horrendous.
That's sick.
Really terrible time. But, things are happening. We got one of the greatest managers of all time at the head of the club right now, so that's pretty chill. Anyway.
Are there COVID issues in the Premier League?
Insane. Cristiano Ronaldo just got COVID last week.
Oh shit. Yeah,
So he doesn't play in the Premier League. He plays in Italy, but there was just an international break where all the international teams played each other. So,
Yeah.
which is the stupidest thing of all fucking time, but an insane number of COVID cases just popped up.
Of course.
Yeah, the league will probably get shut down again, in December or January. I don't think it can possibly last the entire season without getting shut down again like it did last year. That looks pretty good, Trev. Let me know how it is.
Yeah, Trev just got his sour.
It's pretty good. I've had it
What brewery
once
is
before.
it?
It's good. It's Chandeleur Island Brewery, Little Miss Sour Tangerine Sour. It's got a nice little mermaid on the.
Sounds
on the can.
fake. Chandelure Island.
Am I pronouncing that wrong?
I can't read that.
I can't.
Oh yeah, Chandelure. Yeah. You're right.
Chandelure.
Like, come on.
Yeah, no, you nailed
can't
that
be
shit,
right.
Trev. You nailed it. Anyway,
Trev's the
But
Halloween.
by the way, we're talking about soccer, right?
We were, yeah.
Well, I figured.
I heard the Tampa
wrap
Bay
up.
Rowdies are doing okay. That's the only thing.
Are the Rowdies playing?
The Rowdies are decent, bro.
I
Yeah, they're
guess.
playing. Yeah, we gotta go to a game. I've gone to a handful of Rowdies games. They're a lot of fun.
Okay.
They're like
That'd be
$5, bro. You just get sloshed in the fucking stands.
You just go in.
and just scream.
All right, I'll do
Walk
that.
in.
Yeah,
I would do
just
that.
show your fucking.
I'll wait till
expired
everyone else
student
screams
ID.
and then I'll scream.
Yeah, it's.
Should
great.
I wear like a Bucks jersey?
Sure. I mean, that's better than nothing. It's Tampa Bay. There's also like a great
guess.
craft beer bar within walking distance of the stadium, so we can go get drunk and then walk over. Anyway, this
I
is.
did work an event in the Rowdy Stadium. It was not.
It's a nice stadium, dude.
That's tight.
It's quite nice. Nice water views.
Sorry, it was like a concert or something. I was on the field.
So do we want to wrap up?
Nah, man, we're good. All right. So
I mean,
back
no,
to
I mean, we're
Halloween.
almost at the hour mark. I don't think we really have much more to talk about, really. I mean,
What do
I
I-
feel like we
what-
pretty
what
much
else
have-
do I
Wait,
have on my notes?
okay. Let's talk about the ending. So, how do you guys feel about the ending?
I got
Um,
so annoyed with Jamie Lee Curtis constantly dropping the knife.
Why?
She stabbed
Why?
him the first time,
and then
she
leaves
drops the knife and walks away. And then he gets up, and I'm like,
She
all
thinks
right,
he's dead. To be fair,
the
you
first
would
time,
think he would be
fine.
dead.
The first
Why
time
would you
think
leave
he's
the
dead,
knife,
that's
though?
fine. You think you killed him, and then so you leave it, and you're like, all right. You walk away, and then when he gets up the first time, and you kill him again, stay. Keep the knife, and just watch him. Anytime he starts to get up, just stab him again. Or
That
keep
is
stabbing
also
him.
a sick shot, though, of him in the background of Jamie. And he just like sits up,
Yeah.
like full from laying down. That is such
Yeah.
a tight shot.
I mean,
It
that's
looks so
that's
cool.
one of those
That
ones
is a pretty good
that's
shot.
been mimicked or like a paid homage to in so many other movies. Because
Oh,
I
yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
I know exactly what's going to happen with him in the background there.
Yeah, it's very it's cool.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. But yeah, he gets shot out, and then it leads to him gone, and that leaves it wide open for sequels.
Yeah, good ending.
Yeah,
I will
very
say
wide
that
open.
I talked about it a little bit before. The two movies being so intertwined, they were originally going to have just those two movies as like the Michael Myers movies, basically, in the Halloween franchise. Because then the third movie is completely different. The third movie, he's not in it at all. It's just a different movie completely.
What?
It's a different antagonist. Yeah. They were originally going to make the Halloween franchise being an anthology series where like the movies are all supposed to be different.
Dope.
So like the third movie is called Halloween 3: The Season of the Witch, and it's basically about this like corporation that makes it's basically like this spooky corporation that like makes these crazy things and like brainwashes people or something. I haven't watched it in a long time, but there's some fucked up shit with masks and like commercials and stuff. It's weird.
Very
It's
weird.
okay. But it is interesting that it's so different because then every other Halloween movie they went right back to it because everybody was like, "What the fuck did I just watch? That wasn't Mike Myers. Where's Michael Myers? I need him."
Where's Shrek?
So they jumped right back into it. But I wanted to mention it before we wrapped up because there's.
I will
feel
say,
like it's
talking
kinda
about,
interesting.
like, listening to you talk about the sequels, I have to immediately go back and think, is this what I sounded like when I was talking about the Black Lagoon following seasons? Because anytime you, like with Will asking the questions earlier of, like, where's the plot? And, like, I just felt like, wow. I remember you guys asking me questions about, like, what's the deal with this person? I'm like, you find out in later seasons. That
We're
was
one
my
and the
whole
same,
answer.
Trevor. You and me.
Like,
I'm
I
the
understand
outsider.
now why it was not the best answer in the world, because it does kind of suck as an answer. Like, you gotta watch the other stuff. And it's like,
I mean, it's just
Yeah.
I just think that
I
it's,
mean, that
it's not a
happens a
legitimate
lot with,
reason, like
you know.
for the thing to be good, you know. So if that's a concern, then
Yeah.
it can't be alleviated by the fact that hey, in like the next movie they made, you answer those questions. But I mean, I get it. Like they were setting this up to be a franchise, and that is understandable. I just wish there was more development in this one. But again, I've said that
Yeah.
30 times already, as Cobb is
Yeah.
sure to remind me. So cool. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that is our wrap up of our conversation of Halloween that deviated into multiple different things. Soccer at the end.
Shout
A
out
lot
Tottenham.
of soccer for some reason.
Tottenham Hotspur, baby.
I got up and got a beer during that.
But yeah, thank you guys for watching my pick. Hopefully my next one will be up to snuff.
Hell yeah.
I have no idea what it's. Well, actually, no. I think I do know what my next pick is going to be.
Ooh.
But yeah, I'm excited to see what. It's your turn next, right, Will?
Well, we're gonna do. I think we're having another guest episode, and then yes, it'll be my turn.
Right on.
But
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, so, special guest coming in 2 weeks time.
Coming soon.
TM.
TM.
Yeah,
I think we already said, didn't we? Did we already say?
No.
I don't think we did.
But yeah,
Okay,
so we
never
will
mind.
catch you guys for the next ep, and thanks for listening.
Thanks, y'all. Happy Halloween.
Thanks for listening,
Happy
guys.
Halloween.